yes. The fashion law somehow always fascinated me as a platform, simply because it didn't really have much to do with the law. Sometimes it does, because, yes, sure, legal battles, always interesting to review. But also just good articles, a lot of times, and good reviews. We're gonna review a lot of websites today, those that I haven't been on for many months, if not a few years. I've stopped consuming fashion news since 2020, since stopping to write my newsletter. Before, I was producing this newsletter every other week with news that I felt were relevant in our world of fashion tech and sustainability, or circularity or ethics. But now I feel bored of Three Market Watch. I feel bored not because fashion is boring, but because it's it feels stale. It feels like it's not quite changing. In 2019, we were in this period of the verge of new industry building, and somehow it just stopped being built. Big players in ethical fashion stopped to really perform, and these big events that are focused on circularity and sustainability were not as big. I just felt like a lack of crisis communication, lack of voice that directs the fashion world, and I felt like I was bringing together companies and individuals with my balanced fashion consultancy that were making very huge steps into a new industry, and forget about it. Like, most of these companies have closed up the shop. They are no longer in this field. I believe that secondary market and everything has to do with circularity, upcycle aesthetics will be huge, and I thought it's going to be huge by 2021, maximum. But somehow we got really distracted into this like digital fashion narrative, and we collectively lost track in the fashion world. Nothing felt exciting anymore for me personally, but I think for a lot of us. My friends who've been in the fashion world as long as I have, like for 17 years or so, we are bored. We're bored. We kind of moved on. We grew up, grew out of it. Given these news, I don't want to look at them. I'm just reviewing them with you so that I can go back to this video like a couple of years after and see if there are any changes. I'm not interested in creating a newsletter for us on fashion tech anymore. I've moved on as well. I'm no longer doing consultancy in fashion like I did before. And I'm not even interested in consulting you on blockchain implementations because as I got deep into the Web3 and ecosystem communications, intercommunications and inner communications, really, not the public communications, I realize that's where my focus needs to lay, and not in that fashion stuff. Even though, look, I do believe that fashion has a potential to completely reinvent itself, and that would be really triggered by the global economic events that we're about to experience in 2023 and so on, like further in the game. Like issues with supply systems and the overall mental state and economic state of the customers. We cannot go on the same way that we've been going on in this fashion world. It's just not healthy. I don't think anyone's really enjoying consumption of fashion anymore the way that we did, like 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 12 years ago. Now everything feels expired and a little old. I wonder what are the lawsuits over NFTs. I wonder what's that, because I haven't seen an issue around that yet. And I don't really see a lot of talk about digital fashion anymore, like I did back in like 2021, early 2022. I think all of us have been excited about some of these digital fashion narratives, have just been disappointed in them, and I wonder how these core companies are doing, like the Fabricant and so on. What are their, KPIs, how they're doing. I do believe that in order to grow up as fashion world, we have to focus on full-on circulation. We have to focus on stopping the production of the new garments, unless these garments are made from upcycled materials or new materials that are truly created in ethical ways. And look, we're going to be tapping into the sources of fabrics that we've already produced. I mean it, like not only fabrics but actual garments as well, and tap into everything that's been produced before. I've been working in the fashion world in planning and merchandising early in my career, and we've been always planning for growth, a percentage of growth, like 7 to 15% of growth as medium-sized companies. And it's not nice, like, this was going to end, this whole growth mindset. We had to start narrowing it down, and before, I remember I was going around these trade shows and promoting digital fashion, like back in 2019, just saying to people, hey, look at digital fashion, it's going to become like half of the industry. I was wrong. It wasn't going to become half of the industry. Nobody cares about these digital garments, actually. the more and more people I am connecting with, they don't care about Instagram or filters. I haven't been on Instagram for 14 months, and I have never felt so good and focused on other things in life. And now that I'm back on Instagram, I'm not happy. I'm not getting any value of it at all. At all. No value. Besides dance videos of Wednesdays, dance with your hands above your head, you know? I'm tired of that already, you know? September 2020. I wonder what those trademark applications. Look, my loves, if you're still hyped up around NFTs, stop it. First of all, technology is not quite there for mass onboarding. And second of all, we haven't come up with the best utility for what NFTs are. And your membership in your little club, exclusive club, is not the utility that is gonna, make it. In the end of the day, nobody cares about your little digital club. Really, nobody does. This is how it is. And frankly, nobody cares about your digital posts unless they carry some weight in terms of the story that they communicate, and there's a consistency. And yet, again, like, there is a limit of how much information that can go inside of human being. And obviously, in the digital realms, we're overloaded with information to the degree that is really affecting our mental health. I think 2 more pages and we're out. August. What I like about the fashion law is that it's consistent in its posting. Another thing is, in fashion, I haven't seen any aesthetics shifts of the past years. It's kind of been very much the same. While I've been dressing in a way that I've never dressed before, even though I'm tapping into the same wardrobe, I'm just styling it differently. I don't buy anything new besides like textiles, the raw textiles, or some basics. And you've hit enterprise exclusive. Oh no.